Hey everyone, Coach Kate here, and I am super excited to talk to you about goal setting because I feel like it's one of those important life skills that can help you be successful in any area of your life. Not just fitness, not just professional goals, even if you have personal goals, emotional goals, spiritual goals, whatever it is, we need to learn how to set effective goals and then also how to set action items behind those goals in order for us to achieve them. Um, I feel like, oftentimes we make goals with no real thought behind them. Um, we make a goal because we think it's what we should do or what other people are doing. Oftentimes I'll have a lot of clients say, what do you think my goal should be? And when you are asking external people or external focused things to help you set your goals, that is the first red flag, to tell you that, hey, maybe that's not the right goal for you. If it's not really important to you, your drive to achieve that goal is not going to be very high. So if we stop to think about what we really want in life and our goals that have to do with our core values and who we are as people and who we want to be as people, I think that should be the very foundation of any goal that you set. So that's exactly what we're going to do today. We're going to start out with your why. So with anything that has real meaning in life, we want to get to the core root of why it is we're doing what we're doing. We as humans naturally have this innate sense to dig for something for a deeper purpose, for more meaning. They make fun of millennials now because they say that they just want meaning and they want to find the deeper purpose in life. They don't just want to work. Well, I think we all kind of have that internal drive to figure out what it is we're doing here, right? So when we start talking about goals, I want you to focus on the why first. So if you tell me you want to lose 5 pounds, why do you want to lose 5 pounds? Because I want to fit into my jeans better. Okay, well, why is that important to you? Well, if I fit into my jeans better, then I think I'd have a little bit more confidence. Okay, well, why do you think you need more confidence? And peeling back those layers to figure out, deep down what it is that makes us crave whatever it is that we're going for. So when we talk about setting goals, I like to use what I call my 5 whys. So there are 5 layers to this, and every time you set a goal, I want you to ask yourself why 5 times. So let's take one of my goals, for example. I would like to set the American bench press record. If I ask myself, well, Kate, why do you want to do that? At the surface level, I could say, well, that sounds pretty badass, Like, I think that sounds pretty cool to say I'm an American record holder, right? So then I ask again, well, why do you think that sounds so cool? And it comes down to, I want to set the record because I think it sounds great, but why do I care if I sound like a badass? And actually, at the heart of that, it's because I want to be respected in my field. Okay, so why does being respected mean so much to me? Okay, that's my third why, right? Why does that mean so much to me? It's because I want to be known as one of the best in the industry. And if I can be consistent enough to make this goal happen and to be an American bench press record holder, it means that I bought into the process and I walk what I talk, and that's what I tell my clients every single day, and I want to be able to prove that to them. So that's my third why. So why do I want to be known as the best in the industry? It's my fourth why. Because I believe it's my calling to be a personal trainer. I think it's what God set me on this earth to do, and I want to be good at it. Okay? So why does that mean so much to me? It's my fifth why. And my fifth why comes down to the fact that I'm a Christian. I want to carry out the work the Lord has put me on this earth to do, and I believe that is being a good personal trainer and being one of the best personal trainers. So as you can see, I quickly went from that sounds badass to this is my calling here on earth, as God has set me on this earth to do. So that's a big drastic difference. And when you start feeling like your goal isn't worth it, or you want to skip that workout, or you want to have a bad meal, or whatever it is that's going to pull you away from your goal, you can always come back to that why, that deep why, that why that gets you down in your soul, okay? Because that's what we want to find, because that's the thing that's going to keep you going, all right? Not I want to lose 5 pounds so I can look good on the beach. Why do you want to look good on the beach? Well, because I've never felt confident in my own skin. Okay, well, why is that so important to you? And you could go back to something that happened in your childhood, or maybe it's a deep-seated, need that has never been fulfilled by anyone. At the end of the day, I think that all of us have probably a pretty good home life. We have food, we have shelter, we have the core things that we need. So we're all searching for, that next need in the hierarchy. Like what intrinsic needs do we have? What is not being met? Do we need to feel like we belong? Do we need to feel accepted? Do we need to feel like we're contributing to society? Whatever it is, you have got to dig down and find the root of what you really want out of this goal. Is it respect? Is it purpose? Is it confidence? Is it love and acceptance? So what do you need to feel what do you feel you lack? And what will you gain from your goal? How will it change your life? Will it add value? Will it make it better? And are you doing this for you or someone else? Because if you can't find that deep down intrinsic motivation to keep going when things get hard, you might as well throw in the towel now, okay? So that is why our why is so very, very important. So before you even start thinking about action steps or setting a goal, I want you to think about yourself personally, your life goals, who is the person that I want to be in 10, 15, 20 years, and kind of work backwards from that. So now that the why is out of the way, let's tackle our what, your goal. How do you make a good goal? Like I said, I have clients ask me a lot, what's a good goal? And initially I take them back to their why, because after that there's several elements that make a goal good. I'm sure most of you have heard the SMART goal acronym, and SMART goals or good goals are goals that are specific. They name who, they name what, and they name when. At least those three things, okay? They are measurable. How are you going to measure your progress? Are you going to use the scale every day? Are you going to take actual, body measurements? Are you going to go get a DEXA scan? Are you going to time your 5K? Are you going to use a tracker system of some kind, a chart that says, I drink my water every single day, or whatever it is. It's got to be able to be measured, okay? A lot of times I'll have a client say, my goal this year is just to lose weight and to tone up. Guys, there is no worse goal on the face of the earth than I want to tone up, okay? Because what does that even mean? How do you define that? How do you know if you're going to reach that goal unless you can define what tone up means to you? What does lose weight mean to you? Because at the end of the day, if you start out January 1st, 116 pounds, and you end up December 31st, 114 pounds, guess what? You lost weight. 2 pounds, yeah, but you lost weight. So did you achieve your goal? Sounds like it to me, because your goal wasn't specific, okay? So make sure it's specific, it's measurable, and you tell yourself, how am I going to measure this goal, all right? Make sure it's attainable. Do you have the time and energy and focus you need to achieve this goal? There's a lot of people out there who I think pigeonhole themselves into these huge, massive goals, but they don't have any time to complete what they need to complete. So if you are not a morning person, don't tell yourself you're gonna wake up at 5 a.m. every day and go to the gym. That's setting yourself up for failure, okay? Make sure it's relevant to you, okay? So we have specific, measurable, attainable, relevant. So relevance is, it focuses on what's important to you, okay? So if my, if my main goal is to be as strong as I can be, I don't think a good goal would be for me to do as much cardio as I possibly can, okay? So those two things would be, a goal for me to do an hour of cardio every day may not be very relevant to my goals, okay? So you have to make sure those things are in line. That way they're not, you're not butting heads as you're trying to achieve both of these goals, okay? A good example of this is a lot of people say, I want to gain weight and lose muscle, okay? These two goals are actually complete opposites, okay? In order to gain muscle, you need to be in a calorie surplus. In order to lose fat, you need to be in a calorie deficit, okay? So you can see how those two goals are kind of hard to achieve at the same time if we're talking about biology, all right? So know your goals. If you need to talk to somebody, say, hey, is this feasible? Is this relevant? How do I achieve these two things at the same time? And even though it might not be, gaining weight and losing fat, yes, it's possible, but is it the most efficient way to do things? And what kind of timeline are you looking at? Because those will all, kind of work together when we're talking about goals, especially body composition goals. So, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time specific. Guys, set yourself a deadline, okay? My clients know I set 90-day goals with everybody every single quarter, because most people, 90 days is as far as they can think, and that's totally cool, and we can just, start, tackling these things 3 months at a time, and I'm totally fine with that, because it's so hard to think long term. But, break down those goals, but make sure you do set that deadline, set that date, whatever it is, just make sure you write it down and you hold yourself accountable. Write it on the calendar, circle it with a big red marker, whatever you gotta do, put that date on your mirror, on a sticky note, say, hey, I've got X amount of days to get this thing done, and that should, give you a daily reminder of why you're doing what you're doing. So, if your goal is to lose weight, like we talked about, a bad goal might look like, I'd like to lose some weight this year, okay? A good goal might look like, I want to lose 10 pounds by March 31st, okay? So that's got everything in it, right? It's got all your elements of a SMART goal. It's 10 pounds, so that's your measuring stick, okay? It's specific, it lets me know how much weight am I going to lose, and it also lets me know I'm going to use the scale as my measurement for that. And you've also got your deadline. Hopefully it's relevant to you, and it's definitely achievable. When we talk about weight loss, we usually like to say no more than 1 to 2 pounds a week, so that would be a really great goal, to lose 10 pounds in 12 weeks, right? So, other examples. I want to lower my cholesterol by X amount of points by December 31st, okay? That's a great one. I want to add X amount of pounds, this would be for me, onto my powerlifting total by June 30th, all right? Or, if we're talking about professional goals, I want to make X amount of money by this date, or I want to save X amount of money by this date, okay? Those are all things that are very specific. You got a deadline, you know what measuring stick you're using, and then from there we can set our action steps, okay? So those are specific goals. That's what a specific SMART goal sounds like. So, when do you make long-term goals and when do you make short-term goals? I always like to start with my long-term goals and work backwards, like I was talking about earlier. Where do you want to be in 10 years? What does that look like to you? Draw yourself a picture. You can actually draw a literal picture, or you can sit down and type it all out. I did this a couple of years ago, I think, or maybe even last year. Holy cow, it's weird how things change. That's why it's important to set your goals every single year. But I wrote down exactly what I wanted my life to look like in 10 years. And like I said, it's changed since then, but it was very eye-opening to have that daily reminder, and I read it almost every day for a good 3 or 4 months, and I'm like, okay, I remember why I'm doing this is where I want to be, and this is what it takes to get there. So write it down. Whatever it is, you need to have a vivid image in your head of where you want to be and what that looks like to you. Then start today. So we can get just a little bit closer every single day, and I think that's the best way to tackle any goal, whether it be long-term, 30, 60, 90 days, whatever that looks like to you, okay? A great idea for a lot of you that are just starting out in fitness, or in any area of your life that's brand new to you, would be to make habits-based goals, okay? So if you don't know how much weight you should lose, or if you're not really sure how this works, and you're not sure what's attainable and what's not, start with a habits-based goal. Say for the next 8 weeks, I'm gonna go to the gym 4 times a week, okay? That's a great habits-based goal. And if your long-term goal is to be dancing at your child's wedding, then maybe starting small and starting with those daily workouts would be a really great, 30, 60, 90-day goal for you, right? Or like our gallon challenge, drink 1 gallon of water a day for the next 30 days, okay? That is super easy as far as, measuring progress. Did I make it? Did I not? It's short term, it's 30 days, and it also builds a healthy habit along the way. So after those 30 days, you're probably gonna keep drinking that water, which is really what we all need to do, right? I'll bring my lunch to work every day for the next 90 days. That's a great goal, okay? So you're not eating out, you're having to plan your meals ahead of time, you're saving money. So that, that's very all-encompassing. So after you've got your goal, there are some action steps that we need to outline, okay? So this is the how behind your what, okay? We talked about your why. Then we talked about your what, your goal. Now we're going to talk about your how. Okay? Action steps are smaller goals that you can achieve each and every day to get you closer to your big goal. So if you want to lose 10 pounds by March 31st, some of your action steps might look like this. I'm going to strength train at least 3 times a week for a minimum of 30 minutes. Okay, that's action step 1. Action step 2, I'm going to meal plan every Sunday. Okay, that would be great to plan out your meals ahead of time. Okay, because we know calories in, calories out, it's a main driver of weight loss. All right, I'm going to eat out less than 2 times a week. There again, we're talking about saving money and meal planning, planning ahead, all those good things. Okay, and again, you drink your gallon of water a day. So those are 4 action items, and they are small, measurable things that we can do every single day to get us to our bigger 90-day goal of losing 10 pounds. Okay, so break it down into smaller steps that can be repeatable every single day, and you're going to get just 1 step closer every single day. Okay? And let's face it, we all know what we should be doing, right? But knowing what we should do and doing it are 2 very different things, right? So the best indicator of success for any plan and any goal is your ability to stay consistent, all right? And you're going to repeat that process day in and day out. So chances are if you have a big goal, it's going to take you a while to get there, right? It won't happen overnight, nor in a matter of weeks. It's up to you to identify the action items you know you can stick to daily and stay consistent as long as possible with these items, okay? So what most people do, especially in fitness, is they try to do everything at once. I'm going to work out an hour every day. I'm only going to eat lean proteins and vegetables. I'm never going to eat out. I'm not going to let myself have a birthday party. You know, all these things, and they restrict until they just go freaking crazy, right? And they fall off the wagon, okay? So that becomes overwhelming. That lifestyle is not sustainable, okay? I have a lot of clients come to me and they're like, so when do I get off this diet? Guys, this isn't a diet. This is a lifestyle. This is forever now, okay? So we're talking about small, sustainable changes that you can do for the rest of your life, all right? So I hear a lot about the keto diet. I hear a lot about low carb. I hear a lot about fat-free, you know, this, that, whatever. But guys, if you have to white knuckle your way through something, you are never going to stick to it, okay? So you have to ask yourself, what are the small changes I can make today that I know I'm going to be able to repeat tomorrow? So, like I said, it becomes overwhelming to do everything at once, and it's not sustainable. So we end up in this yo-yo pattern where you do well for a couple weeks, maybe even a month, and then you fall off the wagon, and then you have to start all over again. But if you stop quitting, guys, you don't ever have to restart, okay? So we don't have to get back on the wagon. And that's the beginning of what a solid plan should look like. That's realistic for your lifestyle. It's something that you can stick to every single day, okay? Honesty is very, very important in this process. If you know you're not a morning person, like we talked about, you shouldn't say, I'm gonna get up and work out at 5 a.m. If you hate vegetables, you shouldn't say, all I'm gonna eat is lean meat and vegetables, okay? If you hate swimming, it probably shouldn't be in your cardio plan, right? So it sounds silly, but I think we have this idea in our heads of what fitness should look like, and it's different for everyone. And the important thing is that you have to be able to be consistent doing it, whatever it is. So for you, if that means I'm gonna get up every morning and do 10 minutes of yoga, I'm gonna do my best to get my protein shake in after lunch, I'm going to go to bed 20 minutes earlier every night, okay? And do these small things every single day, and changes will happen. Will they be drastic? No. But the longer you stick to them, the more drastic the results will be, okay? So it seems simple enough, but all too often we get caught up in what we should do and forget to focus on where we are at currently in your life, in your career, emotionally speaking. What can you do today that will get you closer to your goals? And take this day, one day at a time. So you make small, sustainable changes. People overestimate what they can achieve in a day, but we drastically underestimate what we can achieve in a year or multiple years strung together, okay? So look long-term and commit to that process, and you will be so much better off in the end. The only shortcut to your goals is to realize there is no shortcut and just start doing the work now, okay? So quit looking for that magical diet. There is no diet pill that will help you lose weight. If there was, nobody would be fat, okay? So start working now and just buy into the process. One thing every single day, a little bit at a time, okay? Lastly, we're gonna talk about accountability because we've got, our why, we've got our what's our goal, we've got our how, making those short little action steps, but accountability is going to be a huge part of your process, okay? Because like I said, we all know what we should be doing, but doing it is a very different story, right? I have accountability, I have a coach, I report to my coach every single week. I'm not perfect. There are weeks where I don't do my job and I don't do what I should do, and I have to report that to my coach, and it really sucks when that happens, okay? So whoever it is to you, whether it's a coach, your best friend, an online support group, a notebook that you refer to every day, your therapist, your spouse, whoever that is, you need to find a person that will give you that tough love when you need it, and they will hold you accountable. They'll say, hey, did you get to the gym 3 times this week? No? Why not? What happened? Remember your goals, remember your why, and you should share with them why it is you're doing what you're doing. Don't just say, hey, I'm gonna try and lose weight, so make sure I don't eat crappy food, okay? No, that's not how this works, okay? You have to dig deeper, you have to go all in, and you have to say, hey, I'm doing this because my mom died of, a heart attack, and I really need to get my hypertension under control, and it scares me to think that I'm not going to be there for my child's wedding, okay? So when you dig that deep and you talk about things like they actually matter, guess what? You're gonna be held a lot more accountable, especially by the people that really, truly care about you, okay? Because we all have those days when we don't wanna do what we should do. So this goes back to remembering your why. What's it gonna do to make you stay accountable? And if your why doesn't keep you accountable, it's not deep enough, all right? But at the end of the day, if you have an accountability buddy, make sure they're bought in just as much as you are, okay? Because if they're like, oh yeah, sure, Susie, I'll keep you on track, ha ha ha, that's not the kind of accountability buddy that you need, okay? So once you ask somebody to be your accountability buddy, make sure they are as invested as you are. Maybe you're both trying to achieve the same goal. That would be helpful. Maybe you place a bet and the first one to reach the goal wins. Whatever it takes to be sure that your accountability buddy knows how important this is to you and take this seriously, okay? Do whatever it takes. If they can't do that, you need to find another accountability buddy. And guess what? I'm pretty good at that, as are the rest of the trainers here at Optimal Performance. So let's recap. So when making a SMART goal, we need to start with our why, okay? That's the first thing. Second step, make sure your goal is SMART. It's specific, it's measurable, it's attainable, it's relevant to who you want to be in the future, and it is time sensitive, okay? Put a date on that bad boy, all right? Make smaller action steps, break down your goal, okay? And if you need help making those action steps, please reach out to anybody here at Optimal Performance. We'd be happy to help you with that, all right? But make those specific daily action steps so that we know, what do I need to do today to help me get to where I want to be in the future, okay? Find an accountability buddy, all right? This is last, but definitely not least, okay? And then after you achieve your goal, guess what? Rinse, lather, repeat. You do it again. And that's how we keep growing, okay? So last but very, very, very not least, make sure you are writing your goals down, okay? This helps be accountable to yourself. I like to post my goals on Facebook, or I tell my girls in the boot camp what I plan on doing. A lot of times I will just start a freaking Facebook event and say, hey, I'm gonna drink a gallon of water a day, okay? I did that, and that helped me stay so much more accountable when I knew there was almost 100 other people right there along with me saying, hey, I wonder if Kay got her water in today. That will seriously help so, so much if you can say those goals out loud, write them down, and make sure that you are telling someone. So make this the year that you actually go all in and you make a specific plan for achieving your goals, okay? All right, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to me on Facebook through a Optimal Performance page, or most of you have my phone number. So, 2019 is going to be a wonderful year. But guys, remember, at the end of the day, it's all about being just a little bit better every single day. And at the end of the day, it's not about how much weight you lose. It's about relationships and people, and what kind of human being are you to those around you. So try to find a way to make your goals about the person that you want to be in the future. And whether you lose 10 pounds or 50 pounds, you're still the same person inside, and that doesn't make you any better or any worse. So don't make this too much, okay? Let it be something positive. Let it be something that helps you grow in so many ways, and always give yourself a little bit of grace. All right, thanks guys.